Okay, so that's your lab, which is navigating iOS. So these instructions which are already open with that file. Now, navigation of iOS means that switch and router and all access point and all those devices, they have their own operating system. Now, why we use operating system in any computer system? Because it's a link between a hardware and software. It's a link because whatever I want to do from the hardware of this device, I have to have a operating system. So this operating system is a piece of software which talks to that hardware, and then we use it for our purpose, whatever we want to do. Now there are three things. One is hardware, which we want to control. Hardware will be controlled by the operating system. And then on top of operating system, we have shells. Now operating system might have a shell of GUI, graphic user interface shell, like Windows operating system. So we have a hardware and we have installed operating system of Windows. And when we operate Windows, it shows whatever we want to do in a more Windows formats. So we can click next, 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 and go on. And it becomes very easy to navigate through this operating system and give your desired instructions to the hardware. For example, if I want to save a file on the hard disk, so that Word app is created a file, so I can easily save that file by using that graphical user interface and going into the tab and then pressing file and then saving it. This is one way to control our operating system. The other way is iOS. The other shell is your command prompt. This is called CLI, command line interface. It is not that catchy. You will not see beautiful colored background windows. One black background, and then you have to put a command like a DOS. So the operating system of this switch, you see over here, these are the switch. So that's your packet tracer. This is the switch and this is a PC. We can select from here, from these devices, network devices from here. And then we can place them over there. Okay, so it is already placed for you in this case, and I will just follow the instructions here. What is the objective of our lab is? It's a establishment of a terminal session that I want to talk to the iOS of the switch. In order to do that, the iOS, we have a application, a terminal software available in normal computer, which will create a session with that operating system of the switch. And then we will console that how this connection is created. So look at this one. The reason why we're doing it, you will practice skills necessary for navigating the Cisco iOS. That's the name of the operating system, Internetworking Operating System, made by Cisco, like Windows 10. That's the operating system made by Microsoft for those computers. Now Cisco has their own operating system and they have their own hardware. They make switches and routers. Okay, so let's connect to PC1 to S1 using a console cable. So let's look at, so this is switch 1 and this is PC1. To connect a console cable, we use this one, these connections. So click here and then you will see that there is a console cable. If you hover your cursor there, it shows you that which cable is there. So click on that and go to PC1. Click on RS232 because console cable has a connection from RS232 and it goes to switch 1 console. Now we use console to configure these devices for the consoling of switch. So we use a console cable so that I want to create a configuration file. I want to talk to the operating system of this switch. So click the connection PC1 and RS23, so that connection is created. Now we establish a terminal session with S1, which is step number 2. So if you go here, click on PC1 and go to desktop and then click this terminal. So this is your terminal emulation software. Click on here. It says that terminal configurations are bits per second parity. So whatever it is by default, say OK. And now you will see, I will expand that. Now you see that it's showing me the connection. Oops. The connection. And that's the window to this switch operating system. You see? Cisco software, 2960 software. That is the model of the switch. And then some more information about the switch hardware. 24 fast Ethernet ports are there, 2 gig Ethernet ports are there, and some other information. And it says press return to get started. So I will press enter from my keyboard. Now you can see that it is S1. That's the default name of this switch, which is already configured here. The default name is actually switch, but this is configured for us already. All right, everybody is with me? Yeah? Okay, so this is the name of the device now, switch 1. So let's look at the instructions, what they're saying, that what we need to change. It says that we need to explore the iOS help. Now, operating system is helpful in a way that we can see that which commands I can run at a particular mode. This one, first one, which you can see with the greater sign, this is called user executive mode. So this is your user executive mode, okay? Just to tell you. And if I put question mark here, you see it shows that these are the commands which you can run. Connect, disable, disconnect, enable, all those. Like, you know, in Windows operating system, we have a guest user and we have an administrator user, and then we can make multiple users also. It's exactly the same way. This user executive mode is limited mode. Few commands we can run. But from this mode, I can go to a enable mode. This is called privileged executive mode by typing enable. So if you type enable and press enter, you see the sign is changed from greater than it is to hash. This is your privileged executive mode. This is privileged executive mode. Okay. Now if you put question mark here, you will see that a longer list of the commands are available. Clear, clock, so many different. And from here further, we can go into some other mode, like global configuration mode, another mode. And we go by tapping configure terminal. Now instead of writing this whole word, you put first characters and press tab. It will complete that word for you. It's a good tip. It's difficult to type and takes longer to type all those words. So configure terminal, and if you press enter, now we are a global configuration mode. We are in a global configuration mode. Okay, so that's global configuration mode, and we use for different for other configuration commands. So let's look at what the instructions are saying. So this is how we put question marks and go into that, and we go into the enable mode, privilege executive mode, global configuration mode. And if you want to go out of this mode, so right now I'm in a global configuration mode, and if I press Control Z, you see I will go into the privilege executive mode, and from here, if you say exit, it takes me back to the user mode. So this is your first lab of navigating the iOS, simple and straightforward.